G'day and welcome to Wine Week. I'm Danny and there's no Brad. This week he's unavailable, not able to be here behind the desk tasting wine with me. 3 odd years that we've been doing this together and he hasn't missed a beat, but this week he has, and he's probably going to be happy that he has, because normally what we do is sit down and we'll taste a couple of wines, tell you all about them and tell you how much we love everything that's in front of us. This week is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to can a couple of wines, but not specifically by the label. I'm going to can a specific sort of wine, and those who've been following me on Twitter will know what I'm talking about, Sauv Blanc. There are rivers, if not lakes and oceans, of Sauv Blanc out in the marketplace at the moment. Most of them are New Zealanders, I guess, over here in Australia. It's the same all around the world. There are some Sauv Blancs in the marketplace from Australia that are doing reasonably well. The Lindemans comes in, I think, at number 14, the highest ranked Aussie Sauv Blanc in the marketplace, which tells you how well the New Zealanders are doing and how they've hit the marketplace with something people love. But the people aren't me. Me? I don't get it. I really don't. I've got in this glass a Sauv Blanc, in this glass a Riesling. I don't want to turn this into a Wallabies versus All Blacks, Kangaroos versus Kiwis sort of thing. This isn't about New Zealand wine versus Australian wine, because they make some brilliant Pinots, Central Otago Pinots. There are so many of them that are absolute rip snorters. This isn't a New Zealand issue. This is a wine issue. And while this is a New Zealand Sauv Blanc, it's hard to miss them. So that's what's in there. And this is an Australian Riesling because, once again, it's hard to miss them. Let's have a bit of a sniff and a bit of a taste. Okay, so first thing I get kind of tropical fruits, but there's kind of a funny sort of an overripe sort of smell, like these passion fruits and these pineapples that have been sitting in the fruit bowl have been there maybe 4 or 5 days, just too long. And there's kind of a cat's wee sort of smell, which you knew I was going to say it, but that's what I get. Some people might just see coriander from that, but there's more to it than just coriander. Alright, I was saying the smell kind of overripe. The taste is almost underripe. It's good on that dry scale. It's not bone dry. There's a little bit of sweetness behind it, but it's dry enough that it's kind of clearing out in the mouth. But the flavours there, it's kind of green, sort of tropical things. Still that kind of passion fruity sort of tropical sort of flavour. I wouldn't necessarily go to kind of melon as far as tropical. Kind of passion fruity, a little bit of pineapple, but kind of underripe and a bit green. And if I was to guess what cat's wee tastes like, there'd be hints of that in there as well. So yeah, I'm canning it. It's harsh, but that's where it goes. Let's have a go at this Riesling. Oh, and straight away, the nose is sweeter, but it's kind of, I think that's partly because it doesn't have those kind of overripe characters. It's clean, bright, fresh sort of notes in it that kind of, are that clean sweet. This, in comparison, that's almost kind of sweaty. This is just bright and fresh and clean. There is sweetness in there, but it's kind of lemon, lime, maybe just a hint of kind of mandarin or orange, something like that. Let's have a taste. Yeah, reinforcing those sorts of flavours. Lemon, lime, similar sort of dry profile. There's an amount of sweetness in there, but it's all mostly dry and clean and fresh. There's enough acid in the back of that, as with the Sauv Blanc. There's enough acid in there that by the time we get to now, the sweetness is mostly gone out of the mouth, because it kind of the acid helps to just clean it all out, dry out the mouth. And I think that's why Sauv Blanc has been so successful, and why Riesling should be also, is that it's not big and flabby. It's not huge oak in either of these. you know, it's a classic wine that, you know, when you finished a glass of it, you're going to be ready for another one, you know, as long as it's not the 15th glass that night. They're really beautiful in the mouth, I guess, but the difference being the flavour profile of this Riesling, for me, is much better. Lime, lemon, green apple, and just as it's going into the front of the mouth there, kind of get some orange as well still. But that green apple, for me, is classic Clare. Not everybody kind of finds that, which just reinforces that, you know, your flavour profiling of wine is going to be different from mine. But there I get kind of green apples, those kind of Granny Smith apples. Beautiful. Love that. Loved them as a kid. Love that in a wine. Look, that's a Jim Barry Watervale 2009. That's a, what's that? A Matua Valley Hawke's Bay Sauv Blanc. But I'm not saying that the only Riesling out there is the Jim Barry. There's similar sorts of dollars. And I'm not saying that the Matua Valley is a crap version of a Sauv Blanc. It's not. It's right in the pocket of what Sauv Blancs are at this point in time. But for me, that means that this, they're all like that. They're all, for me, cat's wee, overripe, you know, tropical fruit. Whereas Rieslings, as a general rule, if they're doing them okay, and most of them out in the marketplace are, even for low dollars, like 15 odd bucks, they're lemon, lime, crisp, beautiful, fresh. And if you match that up with Asian food, it's going to sit absolutely beautifully. Even if you're going to drink it on its own, it's not going to be cloying, it's not going to build up in the mouth. Fresh, bright, beautiful summer's drink, lovely late autumn drink, early spring. That's classic. The Sauv Blanc, I don't know where I'm going to match that up with food-wise, because let's face it, I'm not going to try and actually find food that's kind of got cat's wee sort of flavours in it. That's just not me. Look, 15 odd bucks, you're going to get a true to form version of either of these wines. Go down to your local specialist wine retailer, hand the guy or girl behind the counter 15 bucks and say, I'd like a Riesling to try this weekend. Give it a go. There's so many of you out there that are buying Sauv Blanc after Sauv Blanc after Sauv Blanc. If you're watching this show, it's because you want to learn something. Go out, grab a Riesling this weekend, A-B them if you've got a Sauv Blanc lying around the house. See whether or not you can convince yourself that there's something else, white wine, out there in the marketplace than just another Sauv Blanc, because let's face it, there's a million of them out there, and for me, 990,000 of the buggers are absolutely undrinkable. I cannot see myself finishing a full bottle of that, whereas that, oh, geez, I could see myself going and ordering a case of it over the net this weekend. Well, Brad's going to come back to a bit of a firestorm, I'm sure. If you disagree with me, tell me, email us, drop lines on the website, wineweek.com.au. I'm ready for it, guys. If you tell me I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong. It all comes down to personal preferences, but geez, I've got to tell you where my personal preferences lie, and you'll be not shocked to see that it's this one. Anyhow, see you all again next week, I hope.